curious as I start again. So it was a beautiful sunny fall afternoon, a couple decades ago, unfortunately at this time. I was anxiously awaiting my second high school golf match against an area sports powerhouse, St. John's High School in Toledo. I was 16, so I drove myself to the golf course to hit a bucket of balls to warm up for this very important match. And so I grab my bucket of balls and I go out to the range and I drop my balls down and I'm getting ready and my first swing, up, ball sails straight right. And for you non-golfers, that is called a shank. And although it's 5 letters, technically it's a 4-letter word in golf. I take out another ball. Exact same result. The ball just goes straight to the right. A little bit of panic starts to set in here. Very important match, if you will. I hit another. Straight right. Now I'm in a panic state. I've got minutes until this very important match. I hit a few more balls. Maybe worked out a little bit of the bugs, but certainly did not fix the problem. Walk across the street to the golf course, and if it wasn't bad enough that I've caught a case of the Shanks, I learned that we're going to go off the back 9. What's wrong with the back 9? Why is that any worse than the front 9, right? Well, 3 reasons. The first hole is a long par 5 with a narrow fairway and water all along the right-hand side. And if you, from my demonstration a second ago, balls are heading straight right. So I get up to the tee box, I take a deep breath, just try to wash away what just happened with the driving range. So I get up and I take my drive, and it wasn't a shank, but that's because I had a wood. It was a slice into the water. So I walk up to the ball, and the very unfortunate occurrence here is that the ground angled towards the water, of course, I mean, it's got to, right? But the ground was hard as well. So you can picture dropping a ball when already your swing is inclined to push the ball straight right, and now you're on a hard pan angle towards the water. And you can see what's coming. So I drop my ball, and again I take a swing and just immediately kerplunk right to my right. Ball goes straight into the water. I drop another ball. Switch. Another one. Kerplunk. I put 5 balls in the water. Now granted, each time I'm moving up a little bit down the court. I mean, it's not going straight right, but I'm making about 20 yards of progress per, more like 20 feet each time. So, what am I going to do? I take out my putter and I whack the ball back up to the fairway. So now I can at least, probably should have done that 3 shots ago, right? So I get up there, take another shot, sails into the water. And then another. And for those of you counting at home, I'm now up to 15 on a par 5, and I'm about a third of the way to the green. Reach my hand into the bag to get some more golf balls. I don't have any balls. I donated them all to the water. What could I do? I could just feel the panic setting in. Could I surreptitiously leave the course? More like, well, just run in terror, right? Crossed my mind. I remember specifically that. Who's going to stop me? I'll just leave. I'll just go get in my car and go home and pretend this never happened. So I look at, of course, I'm not alone. I have 2 opponents and my teammate. And they can't give me any balls. It's against the rules. If they give me any, they're disqualified. So we're sitting there. They're shell-shocked. I'm, of course, shell-shocked, right? So I turn to the clubhouse and I see the coach, and I just kind of wave my arms. I know he knew something was up. I mean, he could see that we were moving at a snail's pace out there. So he comes out, kind of explain what's going on. gives me a little bit of advice, and 2 golf balls. I was appreciative for the 2 golf balls, but I just put 8 balls in the water, and I have 8.5 holes to go. How, thank you, but so it's like, well, I'll do what I can with these 2 golf balls. I immediately put one of them in the water. And so now I am basically taking a wood and doing this kind of thing to keep from hitting it to the right and easing my way up the course. Eventually I get to the side of the green with my 1 golf ball remaining. And as if the ordeal up the fairway hadn't been bad enough, I proceed to put a ball in the sand trap, blade the ball over the green, chip it back over the other green, the green the other way, and for a little cherry on top, 4 putt. 26 was the final number on hole number 1. So there, luckily it's only an 8-hole match, right? But so there I am, a 26 after 1 hole, 8 to go, and 1 ball. And to be honest, I remember the hole very well, but after that it's a little bit of a blur. But I managed to get it together a little bit. I found 1 ball along the way and lost 1 other one. So I managed to finish the 9 with a 75. All things considered, not bad. Would have been much better if it was a full 18-hole round, right, at a 75. So this was a great character building experience, and I remember specifically telling the other team, hey, it'd be really great if you could tell your teammates as we're finishing up about this. And I could just see that school bus shaking in front of the lot. It was just pulled out of the parking lot. Could have been my imagination, but I was pretty sure about it. So 2 years later, I actually became all-league and was the best golfer on our team. So a little bit of a story of perseverance. I now stink at golf, once again. Not quite to the level of a 26 on a hole, but I get my fair share of 8s and 9s. And the last thing I wanted to share about this is I was planning to give this speech some time ago and was going to show this. It's a little bit of a tribute to my uncle who subsequently passed away just a week and a half ago. But he prepared this nice plaque for me, documenting each stroke in detail for this. He thought it was, he was a big golfer and just was, he thought it was the funniest thing he's ever heard. So I will always have it memorialized here on this plaque. So, still love golf, but I would never hope no one else ever suffers a 26 on 1 hole as I did. Fellow Toastmasters.